Yep. Somebody's backing up. Easy does it. Sometimes I'll hear that shit going for days. I'm like, are they really backing up, or is it? I mean, who backs up for that long? I'm trying to think about it. Like, if I'm in reverse, like, I'm not usually like in reverse for like, long periods of time. Like, but I mean, this guy's been going for like a good couple minutes before I even went live, and he's still beeping. Where are you going with that thing? It doesn't sound like you're getting too far. Do you just like the sound of your beep noise? Or like, is that pleasant for you? Like, because by the sound of it, you're just still in the same spot that you were in when you started beeping, which was like fucking 10 minutes ago. I know that's that little beep noise they make when they back up. So it's like, are you just fucking that stupid or just out of it? Or you think like we all want to listen to your beeping? Like, if you're not backing up, just put it in park. For fuck's sake, you think we need to hear your beep noise? Like, who... It's an unmanned beep. Like, you can't be in reverse for that long. And like, there's not... I mean, this is like tiny mountain roads. I mean, maybe you're going really slow or something. But I think you just put it in beep and just forgot that you're in reverse. You're just sitting there with the brake on and like, hello, your beep noise is annoying. It's fucking stupid. You can't still be in reverse. I mean, where in the fuck are you going? You've been beeping for a long time, man. Beep, beep. I'm still in reverse. Still backing up. Still backing up. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm still backing up. Yep, I'm going to be in reverse for a good hour. Takes me a long time to back up. I think he's asleep in reverse. It's not a good combination. Okay, that's all I got. That's all I got for my comedy bit about the beeping. But I mean, for real, don't you hear that beep? Sometimes they're just like, are they still backing up? It's not getting anywhere. They're not going very fast. I guess it's good to go slow in reverse when you're in a mountain environment. But for fuck's sake, man, are you still backing up for real? Don't you notice that annoying noise? I mean, are you sitting in your car listening to that beeping noise incessantly? Just like, wow, this is great fun. You get paid by the hour, obviously. Torture the rest of us. Why don't you just put it in park? For fuck's sake, man. How long could you be reversing for? What the fuck are you doing? He's asleep at the wheel and he's in reverse. Alright, it's not funny anymore. Alright, I've exhausted that joke. The joke has been exhausted. You've been in reverse for so long. I can't even think of anything else to say about it. I'm just over it. Just wish you would shut up. Put it in park. Maybe they really are backing up. It sounds like it's getting further away. Sorry. Didn't mean to be a dick. Well, actually, I kind of did mean to be a dick. Because it's funny. But I don't mean any harm. I'm just like a harmless dick. You know, there's 3 types of people in the world. Dicks, pussies, and assholes. See, the dicks, they like to just fuck everything. The pussies, well, they just get fucked and they just get shit on by the assholes. The assholes just want to shit all over everybody. They don't give a fuck. They just shit all over everybody. But a dick can fuck an asshole. So the thing is, the pussies need the dicks, They're the only people that can fuck assholes, So the pussies got to be nice to the dicks. So the dicks like the pussies. They have a special relationship. The only reason the dicks go and fuck the assholes is because the pussies, pussies are nice and clean. The dicks would rather have a pussy, but the pussies are like, can you go fuck that asshole? And so the dicks take care of it, a symbiotic thing going on. Yeah, nobody needs an asshole, but they exist, so there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to find yourself a dick or learn how to be a dick and just fuck the asshole. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? A little bit crude, but I mean, we're talking about real life. Real life is crude. It's got some rough edges for sure. Am I allowed to say these things on YouTube? Oh, sure. You can be as fucking, juvenile and like, what's the right word for it? Juvenile, I guess. Crude. We don't have any problems with that. Our community guidelines are cool with all kinds of perverse, weird, fucked up shit. But you start talking about some health issues or some medical advice. We don't care if you're a reverse psychologist. That's not a real doctor. We're talking about doctors that like go to school for fucking hell of years and fucking learn the anatomy of a human body down to a molecular level, and they understand things so well that like if they say something, it's just good as gold. And if you go against what they say, well, you're a terrorist. We got to delete your whole channel, even if you're just some musician dude who's a reverse psychologist. I mean, what kind of wingnut fringe fucking kook are you? Well, I tell you, there's some benefits about being on the fringe. Yeah. You know why? Because you meet other people that are out here on the fringe and they're fucking cool as fuck. And, there might not be that many of us, but it's growing. It won't be fringe anymore. It's just going to be the mainstream. What are you going to be? How are you going to find some fringe then? I kind of like the fringe. I guess we need the assholes so we can have the fringe. I don't know where I'm going with this. Hey, you know what? If it wasn't for the fringe, I wouldn't have met my girlfriend, I mean. Get all confused. I met my girlfriend on YouTube in a comment section. Call for an uprising video. Brittany, California. She had this cute little picture of her face on, and it was like, just, like a little picture on your channel. She didn't have a channel, really. She didn't have any videos, but she was just leaving a comment and call for an uprisings video. She was saying something like, yeah, all my friends have gone total COVID lame, fucking all masked up. Well, I don't know what she said, but it was more or less just what was happening to me at the same time, or a lot of us. And, I just chimed in, and I was like, yeah, me too. All my friends suck, Everyone's all fucking totally fooled, And I was like, I live in California too. Where are you at? I just assumed that she was in California. It was what her name implied. I didn't think it was her real last name. She's like, I'm in Monterey. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Santa Cruz. I'm just right across the bay from you, like an hour away. And like, we talked a little bit, obviously I was like getting at her, you know what I mean? It's like, where are you at? It's like, I'm just kind of like, you look cute. I wasn't saying so much as that, but she ended up popping up in some of my videos, leaving comments, and like, we joke a little bit. I think I asked her one time if she ever makes it out to Santa Cruz, and she just says like, no. I'm like, okay, there goes that idea. I guess she kind of played hard to get for a second. But then she didn't. And then she left a comment in one of my videos. I remember what video it was too. It was the one I did a video about this was just one of my joke videos that I do. I do a lot of jokes because I think I'm funny. Where it's like, did you know that COVID can cause blindness now? No, for real. COVID can cause blindness. It's fucked up. Yeah. Because you get your head so far up your fucking ass you can't see anything. She thought it was funny. She's like, I think I have a crush on you, sir. I was like, well, that's awfully cute. Thanks, I'm glad I made you laugh or whatever, And then it just kind of, nothing really came of that, I was just like, well, that's, that's cute or whatever. I just didn't know what to say, kind of like surprised. And because she looked super cute, her picture. And I was just like, dang, that's cool. I felt like I tried to put it out there, like, so do you ever come out my way, and she didn't really bite, so I was just like, all right. Now she's got a crush on me, and I'm like, huh. But then my channel got deleted by YouTube. They hate me, they do that to me all the time. And so I lost all my subs, and people, you lose all your wrenches and all your friends and all, you know what I mean? You have to start all over. It's fucked. It's like I fucking put so much time into YouTube. It just becomes this thing where it's like, hey, you just ripped the carpet out from my whole social life. Now I gotta go find everybody, and fucking, which I did, eventually. And I've since lost that channel too. But the thing is, I went and tried to find Brittany, California again, and I did find her, and I subbed her, and but she didn't have any videos, and she didn't see that I subbed her, and she just thought I disappeared, And so, like, time passes. It's like maybe 6 months later or something, and like, she sees a comment that I left in some video, that she watched, and she's like, "Hey, there you are. What happened to you?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, my channel got deleted." And I told her the whole thing. I was like, I subbed you, but I didn't. I guess you didn't see or whatever. And so then she starts popping up in my comments again, and like being cute and sweet. But she wasn't saying anything about having a crush on me or anything. But I was just like thinking, like, what's up with this girl? She's like right across the bay. Why don't we hang out? And I'm just kind of wondering to myself, and like, and then and so I go to her chat to go to her. I just click on her name, to see if she has any videos, because when I first looked, she didn't have any. But then she's got a couple videos up, and it's just it's cute. One video is just like her standing at the beach, and it's just like her smiling at the camera. It's a short little video, but she looks super cute, and I was just like, well, that's weird. That's an interesting little video to put up. That's cool, it's serene, peaceful. She's cute. I get it, I guess that's what the whole point of the video was. Just look how cute I am. Which I did say. I was like, well, you look really pretty. I had a feeling you're a pretty girl. I was like, wow, And, she kind of like left, or she replied with like a blushing face or something. But then she put up a couple more videos, and one of the videos, I was flirting with her kind of hard. I was like, wow, you're so pretty. I'm like, and then one of the videos she talked, she was like, I'm here at the beach. I'm having a bike ride today. It's a beautiful day. And I was like, oh, wow, you're really pretty. And it's nice to hear your voice finally, And she's not really like, I'm not really getting anywhere, like she's like kind of being shy or something. One video she put up of her, sorry, I'm just carrying on. I just feel like telling the stories. At least it'll be documented, So like one day she put up a video of her driving to her grandma's house or something. And she was just like, she didn't say anything in the video, but she's just driving and there's some music playing. And she made like this kissy face at the camera. She looked super cute. And I was like, oh man, I left a comment saying something like, oh, I felt my heart flutter a little bit there. And then she never like hearted the comment or like said anything about it. And I was like, oh my God, did I say too much? I was like, I mean, your heart flutters, it's like when you're in love, And so I get kind of insecure, and because she usually would like heart the comments that I leave and like respond or whatever, And so I go back to see that video to see if she had hearted it, and then maybe I wasn't notified or something. And the video's gone. And I'm just like, oh shit. I wonder if I like embarrassed her or embarrassed myself, or like maybe she's got a boyfriend, and he was like, you got to take that shit down or something. I was like, oh man, shoot. I was thinking, she probably does have a boyfriend. She hasn't really like, maybe she said she had a crush on me, and then she went and found a boyfriend, because a lot of time had passed since that comment. So I was thinking, maybe I should just sort of back off a little bit, because I was being kind of flirty, And so I backed off, and we'd comment back and forth here and there, but it wasn't like I didn't mention the comment that I had left before. Actually, you know what? I don't think we exchanged any comments after that, after the video disappeared, and I was feeling insecure about it, At this point, it's like, I wasn't like, I wasn't sweating it, or anything, you know what I mean? I wasn't like pining over her incessantly. I didn't think, I was at the point where the video disappeared. I was like, oh, she's probably got a boyfriend, so I was just like, forget it, whatever. She's cute, but like she's taken like all the cute girls are, And so like, just a few days went by, and it popped into my mind again. I was kind of frustrated about it, I was like, what the fuck? So I went to her channel to see if there was any more videos, to see if the video popped back up again, and it just happened, and the video was still gone, and at this point I was kind of being a little bit obsessive. I looked through all her videos to see if anybody else was leaving comments like a boyfriend, or something, but I couldn't find any evidence of a boyfriend, so I was like, sitting there pondering this, and then I see on her thing it says email me, and I clicked on the thing and got her email, and I was like, email me, and it didn't say, hey, Dr. Bass, email me. I'm thinking, all right, well, I guess I'll email her. I'll follow the instructions. So I left the email for her. I said, hi, I just responding because I saw your email on YouTube, and I just, I live across the bay, whatever, and I just, wanted to be friends with you. If you want to be friends, if you want to have someone to like laugh about all the bullshit going on or whatever, just hang out, shoot the shit, I'm over here, like, I noticed that she liked to ride her bike in one of her videos, so I said something about my electric bike that I got, which apparently was like a huge hit because she was like all obsessed with her bike. I was like, I like to go bike riding, and she lives out in Monterey. I was thinking, come on, let's get on with this thing. And I was like, this is, if I'm coming from left field here, just, you can disregard this email, don't sweat it, but Dr. Bass. I started off saying, hey, my name is Forrest, and I left all this stuff. I didn't tell her that it was me, Dr. Bass, until the end of the email, So I don't know if she read the whole thing thinking, who's this Forrest guy? And then she gets down to the bottom and it's like, Dr. Bass. Oh, that's it. So she responds to me all excited, and she's like, oh, I'm so glad you emailed me and all this stuff. I was like, really? I wasn't thinking I would get that response. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, now it's on, And so I just made this plan. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to email her every day, and we're just going to shoot the shit. That's how that's the stage that we're at. I was like, I'm going to email her every day, so she has to think about me every day at least, And so we did that back and forth, and she'd always email me back. We had this cool thing going. We're just talking, and just kind of getting to know each other a little bit, And it got to a point where I was like, okay, it had been about a couple weeks maybe of emailing back and forth, and I was like, I said some email like, so I'd like to come out there and serenade you with my guitar, and because she always was acting like she liked my music, so I was just thinking, well, I'll come out there and play some music for you, I didn't even think about the bike ride till later, but and so she was like, yeah, well, you can come out before Friday. I'm leaving town to go to my grandma's again. And that was just a few days away or whatever. I was like, or it was like a week. It was like the weekend and whatever. And I was like, I was with just with my boy. My parents were out of town. I didn't have anyone to watch my kid. I didn't want to bring my kid out there on our first date, I'm not going to serenade her with my boy sitting there. I mean, I would if I had to, but I was thinking it'd be more appropriate to just go solo. I was like, my parents get back the day before Friday, and I was like, okay, well, is it cool if I come Friday? Yeah, Friday's the last day, so it just worked out perfect, And so I come out there on Friday, and it's the first time we actually got to hang out together in person. It was trippy. We talked on the phone a couple times before that, But I felt like when I talked to her, I was like, man, this chick, I feel like I've known her my whole life. It's like after talking to her on the phone, I was like, oh man, this is totally just feels so natural. So I get out there and we went out to lunch and we rode bikes and stuff, and it didn't really get anywhere as far as us hooking up, and I just had to go back home kind of early. Just I didn't hang out for the night or anything like that. I went home before it was dark. Gave her a nice hug and everything, but we didn't there wasn't any kind of intimacy going on. We just hung out. Smoked some pot together and had a beer and fucking just shot the shit, kind of got to know each other. And it was weird on my way home. I had this weird feeling. I started crying. And it wasn't because I was disappointed or something. I was crying because I was like, this is trippy. I feel so it was intense. I just felt like this is going somewhere. This is fucking, this is real. And I wasn't crying because I was sad or anything at all. That wasn't what it was. It was just such a weird feeling. It was like God was getting in my head and fucking with me. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm doing a stream right now. I'll stop here in a minute. Yeah, I like sharing my intimate details. Yeah, and so it was kind of an intense thing. It was sort of I felt like it was when you have these synchronicities in your life where things all line up perfectly, and it's just wow, this is God like. It seemed kind of that's what it felt like. It was God was shaking me up a little bit. I can't think of any better way to explain it. And I got home, I was busy, and she texted me later that night saying, so what do you think? Did you have fun or whatever? And I'm just I said something that was just I was like, you're too good to be true, basically. And her response was oh boy, really? Cool. So it was like the next time she came out here, and we totally like we hooked up, and we were just like all over each other. But it's just a trip. It took like a long time for like, because I was just like, hey, no, you're gonna move in with me right now. But I mean, she didn't move in until like almost a year into our relationship. She's a pro. I mean, she's really good at this. Whatever. There's my story. So I owe it all to YouTube and being on the fringe. There's benefits to this fringe business, I tell you. You gotta get it while you can. Come on, baby, get it while you can. I want to play this video for my girlfriend later and be like, the story of our life, baby. And see, the thing that was really cool about Brittany is that she believes in God. I've never had a relationship with any other girl in my life before where there was talk of God at all. I've never had that at all with any girl I've ever been with. And like, I don't need to get into all that really. It's just, but I've never had that kind of, I've felt connected, whatever before. That's what a relationship's all about. But I've never had that, where it's like we both know that God has something to do with it. Like what's just a cool coincidence is basically that. Well, it's not a coincidence. It's just evidence of God. Is that when after my boy was as he was just calling me, my 8-year-old boy. I've been raising him with my parents because his mom split. I don't want to tell you my life story, but like, he's perfectly well adjusted and everything. He never had a relationship with his mom. It was a tricky situation, and so when she split, I was just like, I've just had so much drama, and her especially too. It was just like, I just said I'm gonna raise my boy in peace. I'm not gonna have any drama. I'm not gonna go chasing tail and be like, I'm not gonna turn into like a fucking typical, I'm not going to do the typical thing that a guy does or that I would do when a relationship goes south. I go find someone else, I was like, I'm busy. I'm raising my kid. I don't need to do that. I'm a fucking grown man now. I'm just like, and it was the first time I ever took that approach to my life, and I was just like, I have another kid too, but it was just a whole different time. I was just like, no drama. I don't want to raise my kid around any drama because my other kid, me and his mom were never together the whole time he's alive, and there's been plenty of drama. I'm thinking I'm going to do this right, I don't want to have any drama. And like, I'm just going to leave my love life in God's hands. That's what I said. I'm not even going to fucking trip on it. And so this is what God did for me, and the interesting thing is, what makes this so special and cool is that Brittany had basically said the same thing about her love life. And that's why she had happened to be single and available when I met her. Because I think she's a good catch. I was like, I can't believe you don't have a boyfriend. It's just because we're like out here on the fringe, All right. So that's the story right there. I love you, baby. And I got the worst cotton mouth. So YouTube can try to fuck me in the butt all they want. I've already got everything I need out of YouTube. I'm good to go, man. Thanks, YouTube. You were the vessel for this to all take place. And like, you know what? I know you didn't like it very much. You tried to throw a monkey wrench in there, but it didn't work. Because we got God. God's so much more powerful than anything that man can make. Although we are creations of God, what we make is a representation of God. But it's not that we have God-like abilities we can just utilize his gift, to great extent, like almost to the point where it's like, I think it is sort of godlike. He gave us the ability to create, so it is godlike. But clearly there's like, he's the father, the creator. Like, well, who created God, Dr. Bas? You don't believe in evolution and Big Bang balls and all this crap? No, I don't, actually. It's garbage. And I'll answer your question. God created God, okay? Because God created everything, right? And God would be part of that everything. So, God created God. It's a dumb question when you think about it. Well, how did that happen? I don't know, dude. How did fucking nothing explode into everything? Ask yourself some questions. I'd rather have God. I mean, it's not like I'm just choosing which option I think is better. You know, it's just because God's already shown himself to me, man. It's pretty fucking obvious if you just open your eyes. You just forget all the bullshit people have been feeding you your whole life, man. Because we've been taught to deny our own experience, as if our God-given eyes and ears are deceiving us in the fundamental observations that we make as children are simply hand-wave dismissed, as though they don't exist. Ultimately, just becomes lost thoughts in the mix and in the memory hole. That's where it goes. Yeah, that's where it all goes. The place in your mind where those thoughts used to sit is quickly refilled with a bunch of irrelevant bullshit and a fairy tale that covers the course of billions of years, where we somehow evolved out of lifeless space debris into the people that we are right now. And that's just such a which is why I have an inclination to throw the whole thing away and start all over again. Simply face the music. We could all really use it if we just face the music. Face music. And open up your mind before you lose it. Face the music. You could really use it. Just face the music. Face the fucking music, man. There's rhythm. There's a pattern forming here, man. You're living. It's a vivid living. Don't live livid in this vivid happening. Are you happy with your happening? Or what's happening that's not making you feel happy? Perhaps it's the fucking mountain of bullshit you've been fed by your indoctrination into the beast system. They want you to be with them in their bondage. I choose not to be beholding to the beast. At least I know when I meet my maker, I won't feel faker than shit. I wanna own it. I don't wanna be ashamed when I meet my maker someday. I wanna be confident in what I have to say for myself, how I feel about everything. God feels that I didn't pass the test, I'll be at his behest. I'd rather be in God's hands than this beast system that wants to own me, control me, and take God's gift and fucking piss all over it. I won't show any respect to that, but I respect that it's there. I just don't care. If it wants to own me, I won't go willingly. You'll have to fight me, which is why you might be over my dead body. But I stand by my words, I will die on my feet, and you will be a weeping little bitch when you realize what you've given up. When it's all over, or perhaps it won't ever be over for you if you get your soul diluted to the extreme and you just live an eternal bad dream in a digital nightmare. You might be there already. We're steadily headed towards that reality. Believe it or not, I don't think it's really hard to prove at this point. But maybe you're just not looking. And in that case, more power to you. But watch what you do and where you go with it, because there's an agenda that will be guiding you if you're not careful. Astray, you gotta know how to sniff out the system's fucking messages they put out there. They're everywhere. They get controlled opposition too. I'm not telling you shouldn't trust people, but be aware that evil has penetrated deep into the society. But you just have to open your eyes to see. And you gotta know about it first. You might just think, oh, Dr. Bas, you're cursed. I don't know why you see those things. Why you're just being so pessimistic. And I tell you what, I'm not pessimistic. I'm optimistic. You know why? Because I vent all the negative shit. I don't bottle it up. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm venting, so deal with it. Besides, evil is a thing. It's not just some life without any meaning. The way that evolution leads you to believe that evil and good have nothing to do with it is more about who's survival of the fittest, and it's fucking this whole crackpot notion that we could evolve out of the ocean and that God had nothing to do with it. It's just an accident. And it's still happening. Who knows where we'll be a fucking millennium from now? We might have grown wings. They know their shit's fucking garbage. Their fucking philosophy is shot. It's bullshit, and they know it. That's why they're trying to force evolution with merging with machine. It's not a good thing. They want to turn us all into robots. You think that I'm crazy? Maybe I am. But all the same, I see the game being played today. Gaslighting us all the way it's evil at its purest form. I've never seen it this bad, but it's only going to get worse if you don't want to admit that it's there. Be prepared for anything. absurdly disturbing. I don't think you heard me. The burning man with machine. It's absurdly disturbing. I don't think you heard me. The burning man with machine. It's absurdly disturbing. All the way out and back again to the furthest reach. They want to own everything. They still won't be happy. And you know these things to be true. Look inside your soul. Eternity's a long time home. You wanna be part of a machine. Never see the things that heaven brings. You want to return someday. You want to stay here and sink with the rest of them. How you doing, Zero? Good to see you. 2 more days and then I'm back on my other backup channel that has more subs. Maybe I'll be playing for something other than Zero. But Zero is my friend. I didn't think Zero existed, actually. I thought there was no such thing as Zero. It's not there. It's nothing at all. How can you believe in nothing? I believe in something. I don't believe in nothing. But I have been from here to zero. But I don't really believe it exists. Whoa. I've been from here to zero, but I don't believe it exists. I insist that there's no such thing as nothing, but all the same, guess it's logical to claim once more that 2024 years ago we were living in the year zero, and that's the year that we were waiting on for so long, as we counted backwards in a long line of negative numbers. Yeah, in the era of BC, we kept track of time in reverse. It was such a curse. We didn't know how long ago we started this, but we knew that we'd end up at zero eventually. And after a long wait, it felt really great to be living in the year zero. You see, we don't know what history really shows. If it's always being superimposed on the present, and we can't ever go back and find another way to get right here. All these things that have occurred better than let us to be who we are right now, who we are. And I just don't feel sorry for anyone who can't be satisfied. It's your own life you're leading, and as I lead mine, I find that I still don't know what it is about zero, zero. And I can't wrap my mind around this whole so elusive idea of nothing at all, nothing at all. Nihilism, denialism, I can't even try to begin. Zeroing in, I feel like it's all been zeroed out. But you're not allowed to pout about this, 'cause it's too late now. We've come so far from zero, from zero. Zeroing in, I feel like it's all been zeroed out. I've been from here to zero, but I don't believe it exists. Sorry, I've been out of tune that whole song. It was kind of a brutal struggle. When I was out on the John Muir Trail, I was like 21 years old. I was a kid. We hiked from Yosemite down to Mount Whitney. It took a month. It's like a 200 some odd mile hike. I've done 500 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail. It's like a 2,700 mile trail from Mexico to Canada. I also did the Tahoe Yosemite Trail. So it's two different hikes, but that's all together is like 500 miles. Fucking awesome out there. It's so beautiful. It's the high Sierra, the backcountry. And I mean, every day you go over these fucking massive passes where it's just like you can see for fucking hundreds of miles in every direction. Just massive granite croppings, just huge fucking 1,000-foot high cliffs and all these lakes and all this fucking extreme terrain. Like, it'll never be conquered by man. It's way far too extreme for anyone to ever go out there and conquer it and put a city there. It is just a vast, crazy, beautiful place. It's insane. And you can hike forever, it seems like. It's just every day you go over these passes and you're like, dude, it just never stops. It's insane. So, like, we had to get 2 food drops on our John Muir Trail. Where someone comes out there and meets you on the, because there's spots where there's like trailheads that come close to civilization where people can drive out and drop off food for you. And we were about 4 days from our last food drop. It was like the 3rd week in. I'm telling a specific story about this hike. And we had run out of food. There's 5 of us at this point. And we fortunately had a fishing pole. There's all these landlocked trout in all these little lakes everywhere. They're just like, because it's in the summer when we were out there, and so the water is shrinking. And the lakes are pretty small, and they're just packed full of fish. And like, dude, there was nobody out there. We hadn't seen anybody in days at this point in the hike. It was just like we're out there and just had the whole place to ourselves. It was incredible. And so we were just living off fish, and there's wild onions growing everywhere. So, like, instead of panicking when we realized we were running out of food, we just, we realized that we had like an unlimited source of food out there, and so we like confidently ate the rest of our food, just thinking, all right, well, we'll just live off of fish. Pretty intense, but it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like it was every day for the whole time we'd been out there. We hiked past several lakes. It's like there's no shortage of lakes, and they're just packed full of fish. It's like, well, we're not going to go hungry. It was a challenge, and nonetheless, you had to work for your food. It's like that's when I realized right there that I am a meat eater. I don't have any qualms with killing something to eat meat, because I was having dreams. We were hunting these wild grouse that were out there, like wild chickens, basically. And, I was like, I'm going to kill me a grouse. I was having dreams about it. They're always so quick, though. We never could catch them. They're sharpening spears and shit. We were hungry, dude. But the fish kept us nourished. And so, at one point, I think we were about 4 days from our food drop. And we came over this one pass one day. And off to the left of the trail, like when you come over the pass, you could see how the trail was going off south, that way. But off to the left, east of that, it was a little lake up there, and you could see this huge, beautiful mountain that was just like jutting way up above everything else, and it looked like it had a pretty easy to access. Looks like it had easy access to the top. It wasn't like this fucking insane cliff where you're gonna risk your life trying to get up there, which is what most of the things that you see out there are like. They were like, oh, look at that mountain. Looks like we could climb up that thing, man. That's cool. Look at that shit. It's fucking huge. It was just like beckoning us. We're like, wow, that's a nice looking mountain. It was off the trail, but we were kind of ahead of schedule. We had permits to be out there and shit. So we're like, well, we have some time to spare. Let's go camp at that little lake there tonight, and we'll fucking go up there in the morning. Which is what we did. We made it to a little lake, and fucking ate some fish, went to bed. Got up in the morning, ate some fish, and fucking, it's like we're going to leave our camp set up. We'll just take it down when we come back from hiking up this mountain, And it turns out what looked like fucking like sand or whatever from a distance where we were at when we first saw the mountain ends up being these huge fucking boulders. We're like, I thought this was all sand, but it was still relatively safe. You just had to climb up these huge boulders all the way to the top. It was fun. It wasn't dangerous. And we get up to the top, and it's like, fucking dude, it was like this view was like life changing. And one of the weird things is that there was people up there. There was like 5 or 6 like foreigners that didn't speak English, and they were white people, and probably like Dutch, or I don't know what they were, but they were like, they didn't vibe with us at all. We were like, hey, what's up? They were like, oh, they're all weirded out, and we didn't give a fuck. We just started smoking pot and fucking having a blast. We kind of scared them off. They left before we did. And so we get up there, and it's like, dude, the view is fucking insane. And like I could see like a healthy chunk of California right there. And it turns out we were pretty close to the edge of the Sierra right there. I didn't realize it until we got up there, but because the Sierra Nevada cuts off abruptly, and it turns, and there's this vast plain, it's flatlands. It's called Owens Valley. The Highway 395 runs through the middle of it all the way down south to like San Bernardino. But like Owens Valley is just vast, and you can just see for days. And then you can see the Sierra Nevada juts back up again, like, running hundreds of miles over that way. And fucking, that's the Sierra Nevada, that's towards Nevada. But we're standing on the edge of this part of it, and we're just like, whoa. It turns out this mountain that we're on was like a renowned mountain. There was a book you could sign in up there. It was like a metal encased book. It's called Split Mountain. It was like 14,000 elevation. It's like the 5th highest peak in the lower continental United States. It was like a renowned mountain that everybody knows about. We didn't realize that until we got up there and signed in the book. And but like, this is the thing that's so cool about that, man. I saw this view that I'll never forget. Like, I could see, like, I felt like I was looking at like, half of California or something. I was looking south, but California used to be an island. Like, if you look at old maps of California, it was an island, and I think that's where the ocean came in right there. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious. When you were standing there looking, you could see how this flat plain, it's like, it just looked like there used to be water there. Like, it used to be underwater, like the ocean used to come up through that hole. You could see the whole fucking, like, I was like, okay, so the Sierra Nevada, like, is like divided by this huge plain, and there's like Owens Valley, and there's like a salt lake down in there. I mean, come on. I mean, it used to be the ocean right there. That's just when the flood happened, And so, like, eventually the ocean waters withdrew. Obviously there was a flood. I mean, so that's where the ocean used to be, right there in Owens Valley. You should take a look at the map sometime and just trip on it. And just imagine yourself standing on Split Mountain and looking at this whole thing and being like, whoa, obviously the ocean used to be right there. It's just, why would there be a salt lake down there? Come on, people. And like, there's all these salt flats. That's where like Mono Lake is, and there's like all this fucking. Anyways, so it was amazing, right? And so it took us like almost half the day or almost a whole, it took us like a long time to get up there. So we're like, we better go back down, get out of here, get back on the trail. And so we did that. We went back down, caught some more fish, ate some fish, packed up our camp, got back on the trail. We're hiking. It was already starting to get, the sun was going down. We're like, fuck, we didn't make it very far. We just got back on the trail and the sun's already going down. We're like, okay, well, let's just camp. There's like a river coming up that you can see on the map or whatever, and you can see we're in the terrain. There's like a river coming up. We're like, we'll camp by the river. We can fish, and, whatever. So we got down to the river and set up the camp. There's campgrounds there. And before we got to the river, though, we ran into this ranger dude. I mean, he's like this short, skinny, total like hippie looking, like Allman Brothers looking guy. Big old beard. He was cool though. He's nice. But he was the one ranger on the whole hike. That we've seen a lot of rangers while we're out there, and this is the one ranger that actually asked to see our permits. And it was a trip. We're like, okay. We showed him our permits. It's the only time anybody ever asked to see him, and we were legit. We were like right on schedule too. And fucking, he's like, oh, okay, cool, right on. You guys have a good hike. And we're like, right on, and he was walking the opposite direction. We're going down to set up the camp, and he had a day pack on. He was going that way. We're like, oh, I must be camping over there or something. That's trippy, because he just had a day pack on. We're like, way the fuck out there, He didn't hike, from any place of civilization, with a day pack on. And we're like, oh, he must be camping out here somewhere. That's what we thought, So we went ahead and went and set up our camp, and fucking later after we had dinner, we were just hanging out by the fire. It was dark. Drinking some mushroom tea or whatever, doing our ritual, and talking about the day and everything, and then we hear this dude walking down by the river down there. We're like, what's that? Who's that? Because, we don't see people out there very often. Like I said, we hadn't seen anybody, and then that day we saw all those foreigners, and then we saw the ranger, like, whoa, trippy. And so it's that ranger guy again. He's walking down there. We're like, what the fuck? I mean, he must be camping down here too. And we're like, hey, what's up, dude? You camping down here with us? And he's all, oh, no, I'm up, another couple miles or something. What? Really? Are you serious? Why are you hiking at night? So you don't want to hike it. Nobody hikes at night in Sierra Nevada. That's a really retarded thing to do. You just don't do it. Because it's fucking dangerous, man. There's like, I mean, if you've been there, you know what I mean. You don't want to hike at night. I mean, there's places where you could, be okay doing it, but it's just best to not do that. I mean, and there's bears and shit at night. They come out, you don't want to fuck around at night, basically. So we're like, what are you doing, man? Why are you hiking at night? He's like, oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry. We're like, you can stay here at our camp if you want. Stay warm by the fire. We got some fish, and we're all like, all super like friendly, and and he's like, oh, that's nice, you guys, thanks, but I'll be fine. Like, okay, we shouldn't hike at night. We're all like schooling the ranger, like telling him something he should already be perfectly aware of, But off you went. We're like, well, that's kind of sketchy, And so I need to go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay, so we get back from our hike, right? And this is what was the trip, is that we had all been contacted by the forest department, like an investigator, a detective. We all got contacted, and we didn't have a time to talk to each other before we all got our phone call. It was just like, whoa, surprise. And we got interviewed because there was a ranger that had gone missing, and it was that ranger that we ran into. And it turns out we were the only people that had permits to be out there at that time period. And they gave a description of him, and it totally was the guy, it was him. And they're like, you're the only people that maybe seen him, and he went missing. He didn't come back. And we're like, whoa, we all told the same story. Like, yeah, we saw him walking at night, kind of sketchy. Because it totally fit the description. And the guy was like, it was unmistakable. It was that guy that we saw. We were the only people that had permits to be out there. Which is weird, because we all were interviewed, and we're like, they asked if we saw anybody else out there. We're like, all of us told the same story. We're like, oh yeah, we saw these foreigners. They weren't very nice. But Nobody thought they killed the guy or anything. But anyways, yeah, the guy went missing and fucking, and it just was like crazy. So we got interviewed about. We're the last people that seen him, and so my buddy that I was backpacking with on that trip, he'd go to Yosemite every year with his family, like a family trip, and he would always inquire about the ranger that went missing, and they were always like, "No, we never got any closure on it." He was, like he would go down there every year for like 10 years or something. It was like a lot of time passed, and he just never was. Like he must have died out there. We don't know what happened to him. It's really sad, and so a lot of time goes by, and I forgot all about all this shit, whatever, and I'm out in Big Sur at the hot spring. It's like a 10-mile hike from the coast. It's called Sykes Hot Springs. It's a really cool spot to go. It's like you have to hike all day to get there, and so there's not that many people out there, and you'll end up having a hot spring all to yourself. It's like 110 degrees right by the creek. You can jump in the cold water. It's totally awesome. It's a little oasis out there in the Big Sur mountains. It's fucking awesome. So I'm out there in the hot tub, and with some friends of mine or whatever, and we run into this dude out there. He's like a avid backpacker, and he's in the hot spring with us, talking to us, and we start talking about hot springs and backpacking trips and shit. And I mentioned to him that I had done the John Muir Trail, and he's like, oh, he'd done it a bunch of times, and he's all familiar with the whole thing. So we're talking about all the stuff that we've seen while we're out there, and he starts telling the story about a ranger that disappeared out there on the John Muir Trail, and at first it wasn't registering in my mind, and then oh, hey, wait a minute, I was like, that's the area that I was like, was this in like the summer of '96, or whatever year? I think it was '96. And he's like, yeah, and he said the area, and he even knew what the ranger looked like, and he described the guy to me. And I was like, oh yeah, that's. But we're the last people that seen him. We got interviewed by the forest department, and fucking we don't know what happened to him. He's like, oh, that was you guys? Because it's like we're like, urban legend. Because I guess, the guy probably had an obituary somewhere that mentioned, the backpackers were the last people that seen him. Probably told our story that we relayed to them about him. He's like, that was you guys? That's I'm like, whoa, man, we're famous. I'm like, yeah, but we never had any closure. We don't know what the fuck happened to him. And he gave me closure. He's like, yeah, they finally found the guy's remains at the bottom of this fucking cliff. They found his bones. It was like 15 years later or something. Holy fuck. I was like, we tried to save that guy's life, man. We offered him a place to stay. He shouldn't be hiking at night. We said, you don't want to hike at night in the Sierras. Not safe. Not a good thing to do. Not smart. So I wrote a song about it. I'm sorry. There we go. Out here on the edge, looking at the valley below, where the ocean once flowed. Out here on the edge, I can see the other side, but the valley is wide. Out here on the of the ledge. Out here on the edge, no one in the world has a clue what happened to you. Out here on the edge, you better leave before the sun disappears, or you'll never find your way out of here. Out here on the edge, took almost a day just to climb. We had no idea what we were about to find. Out here on the edge, you're alone with your thoughts. That's when you get lost. Out here on the edge, out here on the edge, I've seen and heard a lot of things. I've seen people beg, I've heard people scream. Out here on the edge, you could end it all with one fall. Sorry, I fucked it all up. My voice is all shot from being sick. I got the COVID. I'm just kidding. There's no such thing. But I am kind of sick. But it's not the end of the world. No reason to freak out. Unless you're a fucking NPC with nothing better to do but believe what's fed to you. There's another stand-in on the set of the movie of life. Just a random stand-in, no real importance, just playing your part with no clue. Living the life of a stand-in. It's random. Yeah. Living the life of a stand-in is random. You're just standing there. You don't stand out that much. You're just a part of the scenery. That's all you really seem to be. Just a prop in the backdrop there. Not supposed to be given much thought. And at the end of the day, you're just expected to go away. 'Cause you're just another dumb schmuck stuck in a tough luck situation that you really had no hand in. Just another stand-in. You're random, living the life of a stand-in. It's random, but it gets hard to stand in a set that's been tried by someone else's mind, where your role has been well defined. outside mindset as a man in the crowd wearing a look on his face of utter abandon. Yes, it's you the stand-in. That was random. Yeah, living the life of stand-in, a stand-in. You get taken for granted. But it's important, you know. It's very important, you know. Life goes on even after the show. You think you belong to it's over and everyone has to go back to what they were doing before you all put on a little show. And in the real world, the heroes are rarely ever known. No one cares, they're all at home, stuck in front of their boob tube or their YouTube while they're just tuning out in the real world outside, revering these people who seem so courageous and brave up on this set and this stage, like this man who would throw it all away just to save the day, as he clutches the hand of his true love while she's dangling above a bottomless pit, and his other arm is stretched out to his foreleg as he clings to the lowest rung of a rope ladder that's been hung from a helicopter that hovers above in the sky, right as the pilot winks his eye, a fucking lightning bolt strikes. Somehow they escape, 'cause it's all a movie. It's fake. It's not real. It's of no consequence to you. What these people really do, they're just acting. You are standing there, living the life. You're living in the life of a stand. 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 Life of a stand. Life of a stand. Life of a stand. You're living life of a stand. You're living it. You're living in the life of a standing. 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 Why wouldn't you live the life of a standing? Why would you live the life of a stand-in? I don't know. He was a good stand-in, though. He knew where to stand, and he stood well. He understood. He was a standard stand-in. He stood there standy. Never was a standout. He was always standing in. He was a standard stand-in. Standy-puss stood there well on his standing feet. Don't know what happened to that guy. We could use a good stand-in. Stand there, man. Just go to your stand and stand there, man. Just stand and stand. standipus, standy, standard, stander. The bystander, standard, double standard, standards. The bystanding standing with double standards stood there, understanding his standing role. But then he had to go. He stood off. Stood off to some other set, somewhere else, to do some other pointless, meaningless, trifle task of standing. Someone's got to stand for something, or you're just going to fall for anything. You know, roses are red, violets are violet. Sometimes your cliches just fall on their face. It's good to just make up your own shit. Which I do. And it's shit. I do not seek to be the standard stand-in. I'd rather stand out, and I don't care if I'm not a standout. But I will do my best to be outstanding. I play for zero every day of my life. It's okay, 'cause YouTube took my audience away. 'Cause if you say something that YouTube don't like, well, they come along and give you a strike. Exposing something that they want to hide is gonna get your tubes tied up right quick. They don't like that shit one bit. You said something that YouTube don't like. They see to it that you get wiped. Exposing something that they want to hide is gonna get your tubes tied up right quick. They don't like that shit one bit. Ooh, you do, boo-hoo. Exposing something that they want to hide is gonna get your tubes tied up right quick. They don't like that shit one bit. 'Cause it's too true to be good. And that's just terrible. It's too bad that the truth has now just become so unbearable. It's like the last thing they want to hear, and it's too late to cover their ears. It's all bad, man, yeah, there goes a neighborhood. Too true to be good. It's just all wrong. Fact checker, please. It's just too little, too late, and you waited way too long. And it's beyond me how anyone can see anything through this confusion that's too convoluted to be understood. It's too true to be good. It's too new to be known. It's too blue to be true. Who knew that blue wasn't true? I didn't. Did you? It's too new to be known. It's too blue to be blown. It's too true to be shown here on the likes of fucking YouTube. Tube. Go shoot your tube off somewhere else, you tube shooting fucking lames. Fucking dumb fucker. Just go ahead and erase 4 years of my hard work, fucking pouring my heart out every day like this, and just delete it all. It's not worth shit. I don't give a fuck. You didn't keep me from getting together with my girlfriend. You tried, though. You wanted to get in the middle of that shit and shake it all up. Wait, this isn't supposed to be real social media. It's supposed to be a superficial social media. A fake one, basically. You can't make real friends on this thing. That's not... We won't have that. You gotta stay in your little isolated little box over here and shelter in place. Hello? Just in case. And you should cover your face, just in case. Please stay 6 feet away from me, just in case. Yeah, just in case. Just in case, just in case. You gotta do all these things to be safe. Time for you to go and get another jab, just in case. Just in case. Don't you worry about those adverse events, 'cause those are super rare and probably won't happen to you. So you better just go do what we say to be safe, just in case. Don't you worry about that Bell's palsy, that's just part of you getting safe, just in case. And besides, you are covering your face anyway, and you are not around anyone, so nobody will know. It's okay, it's nothing to be ashamed of. At least you're safe. And don't you worry about the newscaster who fell over backwards on his ass and died. That was just a case of SADS. And you know that SADS is out there. It's coming to get you, so you better do what we say. Just in case. Don't be sad, just be safe. Don't you worry about the fact that you had another heart attack, and that is all just part of you getting safe. Oh, just in case. At least you're safe now. Yeah, just in case. Just in case, just in case. You gotta do what we say to be safe. And you can never be too safe. You can never be too afraid. Why don't you want to be safe, just in case? You better swallow your defiance and follow the signs, just in case. It's better to be safe than sorry. I should have included that in the lyrics, huh? Don't you want to be safe and not sorry? Wouldn't you rather be safe instead of sorry? Remember all those news articles that were coming out? I'm so sick with COVID. I wish I had gotten the jab, but it's just too late. Oh, I wish I could have just been safe instead of so sorry. All you people who don't have the jab, you better go do it so you don't end up like poor me. Poor me. I wish I got jabbed. And these people are all fucked up. Well, it would have been a worse death. I mean, if you hadn't gotten jabbed, it would have lasted your whole life. It would have been a really long death. It would have been a lifetime of death. It would have been horrible. But this way, it was quick. It was over with quickly. It would have been a way worse death. Trust me. You did the right thing. I don't understand how he died so quick, though. It's like, well, think about it. You took a fucking shot that's supposed to reduce the symptoms of an asymptomatic disease. So, therefore, like asymptomatic disease, your only symptom is that you're alive. So what happens when you reduce the one symptom of being alive? I'll give you one guess. You're dead. So it's pretty much the expected outcome, I would say. Would have been a worse death, though. It would have taken your whole life to die. This way, it's over with already. Whew. That was close. Good thing you got jabbed. I can shoot a snot rocket faster than a fake astronaut can fucking shake his tail. Spray his hair up in a fucking... I don't know. My joke fell flat. Never mind. Faster than a fake astronaut on a shooting snot rocket. Faster than a speeding ticket. Alright. I'm gonna end this here shit show. Nobody wants to watch me anyways. Poor me. I always get the short end of the stick. Poor me. I always just end up getting dicked over and over again. My friend ends up being my worst enemy. So poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. Another beer and I'll be out of here. I'll be out of here. Pour me another beer and I'll be out of here. Hey. Brass tacks. Remember lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass or acting like a fucking maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider that fucking fact. Once you grab your bug out bag, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around, cause this whole thing is gonna come down. That's right. The whole thing is gonna come down. Okay. Better act fast, jackass. Last chance, hammer in the brass tacks. On top of lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass or acting like a fucking maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider that fucking fact. Once you grab your bug out bag, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around, cause this whole thing is gonna come down. Right? Yes, the whole thing is gonna come down. That's right. Okay, consider that fucking fact. Once you grab your bug out bag, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around, cause this whole thing is gonna come down. Yeah. Down, wow, 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 wow. A fun, down. There's some good fucking there's some good clips you can take of my show and be like, look, Dr. Bas has lost his fucking ever-loving mind. What the fuck's he doing? Why would you want to watch this stupid show? When in reality, there's just nothing but good shit buried in it. You just cut right to the end, you're just gonna think I'm a nutcase. Well, it's your loss, pal. Suck a fat one. Alright. When my mind gets muddy, it's fine with me, buddy. I'm gonna laugh all the way to the lake. When my mind gets muddy, thank you very much, buddy. I'd rather have a muddy mind than to have my mind washed clean. I do believe that brainwashing is optional, man. Okay, I've made it to an hour and a half. I'm out of here. Peace. It's been real. Nice seeing you, Zero. It's so good to have a friend named Zero. I already played your song, so I'm not going to go back to that dumb shit. I like finding shiny things. I like the way they shine. I like finding shiny things. I find them all the time. Find those shiny things and make them mine. Oh, I like those shiny items. You can buy them at the store. Like those shiny items, but they cost a lot more than those boring, non-shiny fucking things. That's why I like finding shiny things for free. If you see me finding things, I'm probably finding shiny things. I find them all in Hollywood.